The cafe buzzed with the murmur of conversations and the clatter of coffee cups. But for Lily, the world narrowed to a single point. The man standing by the window, it was him, after all these years. Time had etched lines on his face, but her heart recognized him instantly. Daniel. The name echoed in the silence of her memories, a bittersweet symphony of what was and what might have been. Lily hadn't planned on this. Fate, it seemed, had a plan of its own. She watched him from afar, a whirlwind of emotions stirring within her.
Hesitantly, she took a step forward, then another. Each step was a journey back in time, to a love story left unfinished. As she drew closer, their eyes met. For a fleeting moment, the world around them dissolved. The years of separation, the heartache, the unanswered questions, all faded away in the depths of his gaze. It was the same gaze that had once held her captive, filled with a tenderness that time couldn't erase.
Lily?
His voice, a surprised whisper, broke the spell. The sound of her name, spoken by him after all this time, sent shivers down her spine.
Hello, Daniel.
Her voice was a mere breath, laced with an emotion she couldn't quite place. He looked different, older, but the years had been kind to him. The boy she knew had grown into a man, his eyes reflecting a depth of experience that both intrigued and intimidated her. They stood there for a moment, suspended in time. The air crackled with unspoken words, with the weight of their shared past. The years melted away as their eyes met, a silent conversation passing between them. It was awkward, exhilarating, terrifying.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
They talked, hesitantly at first, their words bridging the gulf of years. Catching up on lost time, sharing snippets of their lives lived apart. The cafe faded around them, the noise and bustle a distant hum as they fell into the easy rhythm of their shared history. He spoke of his work, his travels, his life in a new city. She listened, captivated, catching glimpses of the man he had become. And when it was her turn, she spoke of her dreams pursued, her passions ignited, her life shaped by the choices she had made.
They reminisced about their shared past, their laughter echoing through the cafe. Memories once tucked away in the deepest corners of their hearts resurfaced like old friends. The time they snuck into a drive-in movie. The night they danced under the stars. The silly arguments, the inside jokes, the moments that had shaped their young love. With each shared memory, the years seemed to fall away. The awkwardness faded, replaced by a familiar warmth. It was as if they were picking up where they left off, rediscovering the invisible threads that still bound them together. Silence fell between them, comfortable and heavy with unspoken emotions.
Lily, I owe you an apology.
He spoke of his regrets, his mistakes, the pain he had caused. And then the dam broke. Words, long held captive, spilled forth.
She listened, her heart aching with a familiar pain, yet oddly liberated by his honesty.
But even as she spoke the words, she realized that time had softened their edges. When it was her turn, she spoke of her own hurt, her anger, the bitterness that had taken root in her heart.
The pain was still there, but it no longer held her captive. Forgiveness, they discovered, was a two-way street.
As they bared their souls, they began to release the ghosts of the past. There were tears, yes, but also a sense of catharsis.
In confronting their shared history, they found a path towards healing and acceptance.
As the afternoon sunlight streamed through the cafe windows, they knew it was time to part ways. But this time it was different. This time there were no promises left unspoken, no what-ifs hanging in the air.
Can I see you again?
Lily hesitated, a lifetime of caution warring with the hope that bloomed in her chest. Looking into his eyes, she saw sincerity, a depth of emotion that mirrored her own.
Yes, I'd like that.
As they stepped out onto the busy street, the world seemed brighter, full of possibilities. They had been given a second chance, a chance to rewrite their story. It wouldn't be easy, they knew. There were still hurts to heal, trust to rebuild. But as their hands brushed in farewell, a silent promise passed between them. A promise to face the future together, hand in hand, with hearts open to the enduring power of love.